Morning intuitives. Yes, another, video before work. Another long-awaited INFJ topic that kind of got pushed to the back burner, and then I was off fighting 5 wars that I lost through not having enough forces, betrayal, knives in my back, rigged game, the usual stuff for the past at least 2 years, but really 15 for the most part. Oh, will that coin ever land on its edge? But I wanted to get to this topic because it's something that INFJs hear all the time in various different ways about various different things. And that is, why are you so intense? Everything you do, you're intense. So INFJ intensity. And we are intense. And raise your hand if you're an INFJ and you've been called intense, because I've been called intense a lot. And it's because of our deep passion, our deep commitment, our sincerity, our integrity, our honor, our authenticity. All that leads to our intensity because we don't do anything halfway. If we're going to do something, it's all in or all out, all or nothing syndrome. We can't do anything halfway. So if we feel for something, we're passionate about something, like if we care about somebody, we care full force. We don't casually date. We don't half fall for somebody. We don't sort of fall for somebody. We either fall and fall hard or we don't. It's all or nothing. And the same can be said when like fighting for something you believe in, be it a cause like fighting the old boys club. Hate them with a passion. Hate them. See no good in that system. Want to burn it to the ground. Yeah. And the same can be true for fighting for a person you care about that's maybe in a bad situation. You'll fight with the rage and fury and intensity of a dragon spitting fire. You're not going to give somebody fake empathy and, lip service about, well, I would do this and this and this. And then when somebody actually gets brave enough to ask you for help, you're like, well, I can't upset the status quo, and I really only care about myself, and I say things just to be nice, but at the end of the day, I'm a Chestertologist and I bow to the status quo, for it is my unquestionable perfect master. But enough about this cult. So INFJ intensity, as I said, can spread into many aspects of an INFJ's life. And we're going to talk about the obvious one. Yes, INFJs are, intense, sensual, passionate lovers too. It is, many, well, I don't know if I've had that many, but a good number of my exes, as well as articles I've read, have said, INFJ men particularly, because I don't know how it is for INFJ women. I've never dated, well, I've never gotten to that point with one, and I'm male. So yes, INFJ men are, intense, soulful lovers that apparently we seek a spiritual connection in having sex. We won't, to put it crudely, if an INFJ male is having sex with a woman, he's not just trying to get off, bust a nut, or just wanting to be with a hot chick, bro. It's an expression of his emotional connections for that particular woman, and he's seeking to make her very soul orgasm as well as her body. As my exes have told me that when we were in bed, there was no doubt in their mind that I wanted, whoever it was at the time, and only them. And that is certainly the case. INFJ, while intense, were never at all like degrading. It's very much like a intense, soulful, spiritual connection, as well as like a intense, like physical ravaging. That's the best way I can put it. It's tough to put in the words, but that is in one way we are known to be intense people. Debating, we're very intense debaters. When we believe in something, we really believe in it and we will defend it. We're not pushovers. Like if we believe in, say, progressive ideals, some good old boy who, believed everything his daddy told him, and, he's essentially sees himself as some kind of fucking duke of a township that should have been absorbed into a county 50 years ago, even though, and Mr. America, even though America was founded, on the basis of not having an aristocracy. Now these good old boy true Americans see themselves as, the Duke of this township because done what my grandfather done 50 years ago, kind of thing. Yes, more Chestertology logic. Well, you can call it logic, but that kind of thing. So if we believe in something, we will actually defend it, and we will use facts and data. We don't care what other people think. For an INFJ, our intensity does not at all depend on what people think of us, what the status quo is, and what people will whisper behind our back. Our intensity is fueled by what is the right thing to do and what the INFJ themselves believe. Intensity spreads into our careers as well. We look for a career, in my case, to help people where we can be intensely passionate about, and we will go into it full force to make sure we are, the best suited to be in that position. When I was, preparing to enter the fire academy, I was working out 5-6 days a week, an hour of weights and 45 minutes on a stairmaster in an 80-pound weighted lead vest. Like I was intense about being able to prove, that I was an asset to that department and that I was certainly capable of performing any task asked of me. And I did pretty well in the academy until the hazing really kicked in the high gear, all because a, good old boy gatekeeper who coattailed on nepotism his whole life thought that I didn't belong in his club as he saw it because, public services, it's not about your skills or physical ability or anything. It's about, do you fit in and who you know, which is crap. And that's the old boys club that needs to go down. And I hate gatekeepers. But the intensity, to prove myself was certainly there. And still that fire burns for the intensity the intensity for me to get a fair shot at anything I deem worthwhile. That is my curse not to have it. The coin lands on heads, you don't get a shot at all. The coin lands on tails, is the game's rigged by an outside third party with nothing to do with my actions against me. So in order for me to get what I want, the coin has to land on its edge. It's technically possible. 1 in 6,000. I think I flipped about 6,000 coins though. None of them landed on its edge. So as I said, intensity, drives us. It's natural for us. It's natural due to our all or nothing syndrome. People usually appreciate it because our intensity also shows, how authentic we are, how we actually will take action for a person or a cause. If it's something we believe in, that's something, if you don't know too much about INFJs, is when INFJ says they're going to do something for you and they're intense when they're telling you, they're going to fucking do it. Like, it's not just, I'm just going to tell you what, I think you want to hear, what's the right thing to say, but push comes to shove, status quo, status quo. No, if an INFJ says they're going to protect you, they're going to protect you, even if they have to, even if, they'll be the person that if somebody's attacking you, they'll step in front of you and take a knife to the stomach if need be. That's the level of intensity INFJs have. If we promise to do something, we'll basically do anything within our power to ensure that we live up to that promise, because that's tied into our precious sense of integrity, which costs us oh so much throughout our lives. Such a heavy price. If only I didn't care about integrity or weren't demisexual. I would have done some real damage. But it's not who I am, and can't change how my mind works aside from a traumatic brain injury. Nah, no one's sneaking up behind me to hit me over the head. Not today, anyway. Perhaps soon. As I said, integrity has its price. Retaliation is often sought for calling out abusers, especially when you do it intensely and don't care what their last name is, or, how long their family's been in the area. When you actually hold, quote unquote, people that are special because they say so, accountable for actions as if they're a regular person, even though they claim they're royalty, because there is no American royalty. Yeah. So this intensity can sometimes make people back off to people who don't understand it, people that are fake, people that have no passion, no drive, no integrity, and everything, people that are conniving opportunists, that everything to them is about getting what they want and manipulating people in the moment and seeing who's useful to them in the moment. Integrity too, will back them off because they don't understand it, because they're not real, they're fake. You can only be intense about something if your feelings for it, whatever it may be, cause, person, job, whatever. You can only be intense about it if you're genuine about it. You can't fake intensity. You can't. It's harder to fake intensity than an orgasm. Well, I don't know how good of an actor you are, but INFJs typically don't make good actors. We're very bad liars. So when it comes to INFJ intensity, if you are an INFJ, understand it's your natural response and to go with it. If you're feeling intense about something, it's probably a good reason for that. And if you don't know what that is, think long and hard and think about maybe what you're refusing to accept about how you feel the situation. If you're not an INFJ, understand that intensity can be a little scary at times, but it's also very genuine. So if you're concerned about an INFJ's intensity, ask them why they're so intense, because they'll probably be able to tell you. Remember, INFJs, trust your intuition when it comes to your intensity. Don't sell out your integrity just because some people may not like your intensity. And watch my older videos and help me monetize this bitch. Thank you.